Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you are, and welcome to a new masterclass. And today I'm pleased again to have with me my partner in crime, Ufuk, for this masterclass. We're gonna go over. It's a hard word, revolutionizing business efficiency, and it's a masterclass in digital transformation and AI-powered automation. So, thank you very much for joining today. Actually, before we start, what I want to mention is Ufuk and myself, we tried to do something really different. We wanted to take digital transformation and automation from a completely different approach and make it as simple as possible. Just for people who doesn't know me or Ufuk, maybe we will just do quick introduction. Ufuk, just quickly, can you introduce yourself?
Sure. Hello, everyone. Thanks, Mehmet, for having me. This is Ufuk. I'm the founder of Data Fabrica. We are working together with Mehmet in digital transformation and cybersecurity domains. We decided to have this workshop to have a hands-on implementation of this buzzword, which is digital transformation, right? So we wanted to see how we can simplify it and how we can show it. So that's why we are here today, and hopefully you will enjoy the session.
Well, thank you very much, Ufuk, for being with me today. Myself, Mehmet, I'm the founder of Yassi Ventures. My passion is to help startups and small, medium businesses to take their business to the next level. So, without further ado, let's go to the next one. So, first, just housekeeping, as we like to call it. So, I think we're going to spend together around 45 minutes in terms of what we will cover, and then if you have any questions, you can type them. If you are watching through LinkedIn, you can type them in the comments there. If you are watching on YouTube, also you can participate with us. We highly encourage you to participate because what we are trying to do is, really put some lights on this buzzwords as Ufuk mentioned. By the way, the session would be recorded and we will be sharing, the links afterwards. So in case you are missing it today, we are hopefully making sure that you are watching us afterwards. So the agenda is very straightforward. So we're going to do a quick introduction, basics of digital transformation and AI. We're going to go over the case study, the way we designed it. Actually, we have two designs, one designed by Ufuk, one designed by myself. We have the secret sauce, which is the AI. And by the way, we are not putting AI as a buzzword again. We're going to show you like a real use case here. And then what's next? What's the next action plan? So, Ufuk, I will pass it to you.
Yeah, thank you very much. First of all, we wanted to touch this digital automation, right? What is it and why is it important? So simply we are using this today's world. Every business, every size of business is getting more digital, right? And that's why using the digital technology to automate these routine tasks are always bringing more value. So simply we are creating applications, systems, simply machines mimicking human intelligence process. So we are trying to replicate the process, and we want to make it easy to access, easy to manage, and just by using the power of automation. And again, we can simply have complex tasks done by these automation skills. And simply the importance of this automation, right? In today's world, it's very important to be efficient. So simply it's helping us to freeze up employees' time. And second advantage is that it's reducing the human error, because in the end, machines are much more accurate when it comes to repetitive tasks, and we humans, yes, we can make mistakes. So that's why this automation can help us to reduce human error on such repetitive tasks. And a third advantage is that these automation systems can work around the clock. So simply we can just schedule it. It can work 7/24, and it can continue building, continue processing the plan flows and everything. And simply our business can leverage of this around the clock system. And the last one is to be accuracy and consistency. So again, it's because machines, right? For machines, it's all about one or zero. So that's why when we create a system and when we leave it to machines to operate, it can bring more accuracy to our business results, and maybe our business metrics. Everything will be more consistent. So you will see in our next solution designs, we as mentioned, as Mehmet mentioned, we have two different solution designs to address same scenario. So we will discuss about it shortly. So before moving, yes, Mehmet.
Yeah, just I want to put something here. Now, maybe you are, I hope you are seeing some difference from the first few slides, because when we say the word digital transformation, usually people brings to their mind some technology names, or not vendors, but technology names. So people start to think cloud, people start to think, like big concepts. And, digital transformation, just to highlight what Ufuk just mentioned and to add on this slide, digital transformation is all about you leverage the technology by digitizing as much as possible of your day-to-day processes and procedures, and then bring it to an automated state. So this is why you are not hearing today from us something like cloud. You are not hearing from us like this big things. We are just getting to the point by simplifying things. But of course, as Ufuk mentioned, this is something that can go on a very large scale. Yeah, so let's move on.
Yeah. So yeah, case study. So actually, yeah, there was a animation here, but yeah, I think StreamYard platform is showing all in once. That's fine. So simply, we wanted to create a sample scenario, right? A case study. So that's why we came up with this Taste Heaven restaurant. It is an old restaurant, and they realized that they are low in sales. They started to have less customers, and that's why to increase their business, to have more profits, more sales, they wanted to apply digital transformation. So again, this is just a fictional, and we especially choose this topic because, well, customer feedback is important for every type of business, right? Whatever we do, we have customers, and customer feedbacks, customer ratings are extremely important for our operations. So that's why in this case study for this Taste Haven restaurant, they want to implement a digital transformation, and they want to start with a manual process, which is old style, old school suggestion box. Their customers are filling up the paper and throwing in the box, and once in a while, someone opening that box and they're trying to read and trying to take action. So simply a manual process. So we wanted to take this scenario and implement automation and digital transformation just for this use case. Mehmet, anything to add here?
Yeah, so just like this is my theory always, like you have to have an end goal in mind. So you don't start digital transformation for the sake of starting digital transformation. So in this case, and we took a very simple, maybe you will say, yeah, but Mehmet, this is something who still use a suggestion box. I know, but believe it or not, still we are seeing this. Ufuk and myself, we visit a lot of places and we still see this box, not necessarily in restaurants, but in a lot of places. This is first. So the goals can be, and they vary between, first, you start, as in this case, to see that you are going low on the sales part, you start to see less customers. So your first goal is how I can increase the number of my customers, increase my revenue. Or maybe I want to have my customers really feel that they are taken care of, right? So you need to increase the loyalty of your customers. Another use case might be when you want to do this digital transformation is maybe you want to avoid some risks. Like there are some tasks that you see your team is repeating time after time and they are doing a lot of mistakes, and this can cause loss of revenue, loss of reputation, and so on. So this is where I say start with a goal in mind, So you know why you are actually leveraging digital technology and the automations that we are talking about here to solve a problem. So this is why we thought to take a very simple approach here, a very simple scenario, but again, we can apply it to any use case. And I'm happy that Ufuk called his company Data Fabrica because it all starts with data, right? And let's walk through the solution. Ufuk, back
Yeah,
to you.
thank you. So yeah, here our solution design is very simple. It starts with the customer, right? Step one, and step two. So simple customer has the mobile phone. So let's leverage this. And on each table in this Taste Haven restaurant, there is a QR code, and this QR code simply scanned by customer, and they reach to a form where they can just specify some details. And based on that, on the step three, our automation takes place, analyze what's happening there, and send relevant emails to relevant people, and then take necessary actions accordingly. So this is the solution design, just in 3 steps.
Which was
So
replaced by Ufuk, like how it was done, just to repeat it again. So if someone have missed that.
yeah, how it was done. So simply, customer is enjoying dinner in this restaurant, and when there's something wrong, yeah, maybe they are talking to someone in charge there, but there is a suggestion box, right? So with the manual paper, so they are writing it down, throwing in the box, and then once in a while, someone opens that box and collect all the papers and then try to process them. So simply, this first is not automated. Second, it's very slow process. It's a manual process. So we are trying to take this further.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So as Mehmet mentioned, so we wanted to take 2 different platforms, because again, in this, maybe you remember from our previous webinars, we are always talking about being vendor agnostic. So that's why even you might hear some vendors we are talking about in this slide deck. It doesn't mean that this is the only vendor that you can provide. So that's why we wanted to come up with 2 different solution designs. One of them is using Microsoft 365 and all the available services. Another one, Mehmet's design, is using another tools. So we will just go through each of these designs. So in my again, all of them in the same page, but yeah, customer scan this QR code, and on the phone they reach this customer interaction form, and based on that, they leave their name, contact number, email address. So these are important. And then select the nature of interaction. So if it is complaint, suggestion, general feedback, or other. And then details. So simply any message, anything that this customer wants to share with the restaurant, it's there. And then rate your overall experience with us. So customer is sharing this, and once it's submitted, it is coming automatically to an Excel OneDrive for Business.
Quick
So
question, Ufuk. Quick
Yeah.
question, Ufuk. If you go
Yes,
to the
please.
previous slide, how did we generate the QR code?
Yes, yeah, it's a good question. I think I missed that. How did we generate the QR code? So simply, it's using Microsoft Form platform. So we created the form there. Yeah, we can also send a link, or we can place a link. But again, here we want to make it easy for customers, right? And it's possible to download the QR code automatically. So this is how we get it.
So you can print it, for example, on the tables if you want, right?
Exactly. Yeah. It's quite readable. Even our viewers right now, they can scan and they will access the same form. So it's a live document.
Yes.
And then all the feedbacks, all the information is coming to our Excel, right? So everything is processed there. So simply this table will be filled up, more customers. But yeah, we don't stop there, right? Because we want to take it further. We want to make it better. It's not only about having a spreadsheet in the end. But the advantage is that this spreadsheet is generated and updated automatically. There is no manual process required to update this spreadsheet. So this is why it's a good and a digital solution. And then the next slide, I'm moving with there was one more slide, but yeah, anyway, I think it's under. We are using, actually, Mehmet, do you mind if I share my screen instead of using,
Yeah,
or,
sure, sure, you can.
okay, let's stick with that. So simply we are using Microsoft, another service included in Microsoft 365 platform. It's Power Automate. And in Power Automate, simply we are creating a flow, right? And the flow simply, when there is a form submitted, update first, get response details, and then update the spreadsheet, and then do this, do that. We can add multiple steps, multiple controls in this flow, and everything will be automatic. This is how I used Microsoft 365 to automate this customer feedback process. So what we are doing here, first we are collecting the responses, spreadsheets generated, okay, it's done. And then the second thing, condition. So in the form, so simply there is a rating, there is a type of interaction. So I just choose that, and if it's equal to complaint, do this. If not, do that. So simply the idea is, if it is a complaint, send an email to the restaurant's manager, or maybe regional manager, someone who is in the management level. But if it is not complaint, maybe like a feedback or just suggestion, or just a thank you message, and then send it to, I don't know, assistant manager. So simply, according to our scenario, this is what we had. But think about a bigger organization, a more complex process. So everything coming from the customer side, every single information can be linked to this type of flows. And according to our design, yes, this is what we are doing, just sending emails. But again, we can have here multiple conditions. We can add if this, if, and then maybe multiple conditions, maybe asking two different questions and expecting yes and yes from both of them, right? So simply we can implement the logic here easily. And then the last part is that Power BI, again, is using Microsoft Power BI, and I created this dashboard. Simply, all the information coming from customers is also updated in this dashboard automatically. So simply here, average rating of this restaurant, or average rating per mealtime. Maybe we can just see breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So we can just understand, where is the bottleneck in our day-to-day operations in this restaurant. Maybe we should look at the breakfast time or lunch or dinner time. And then we can just understand, again, rating based on every month. So simply we can just see, okay, what's happening and what is the reason of having a low sales and less customers. So simply by automating this and having this type of analytics can help us to understand more about the business by leveraging the data. So this is what we are doing, and simply Power BI is helping us. For example, ask a question about your data. You can simply, just whatever data you have there, right? What kind of information, you can just make sense of it, create a dynamic dashboard. And until this last step, we didn't create any static file. There is no manual spreadsheet. There is no manual Word document, or no, that just we created a form. Form is created a spreadsheet automatically, filled it inside, and all the automation handled the rest. So this is what I did with Microsoft 365. So Mehmet, I think next is yours.
Yep. Thank you, Ufuk. So for me, because we talked about vendor agnostic, so maybe someone mentioned, hey, I don't use Microsoft 365 for a reason or another, right? Or maybe sometimes, you need to think outside of the box. right? So the way I decided to do it is I will mention the tools. We are not hiding anything here. So building the form, there are a lot of tools available. And by the way, majority of them sometimes they either have a freemium or it's a very low cost. Like we are talking here about nothing which is wow, from budget perspective. So I decided from my side to rely on a tool called Tally Forms, and this allowed me to build a form. And actually, the form has, as you can see, of course, it's one slide, but this form has 3 pages. So in the first one, where you put your name, your email, and if you want to share your phone number, maybe if you want to be called back, when did you visit the restaurant and what time of the day, again same what Ufuk did. So for example, it might be breakfast, lunch, or dinner. And in the last slide, so I have like kind of checkbox asking the customer what exactly you want to give feedback about. So do you want to give feedback? I put like 3 or 4 categories. I think I put 4. So I put food quality, kitchen feedback. I put something about the service staff feedback. I put something about the ease of payments as well, like anything related to pricing, payment. And I put something about hygiene as well. So I put 4 categories, and the customer, he can choose or she can choose which ones they want to put the ratings for. And of course, there is at the end also a general feedback which we ask the customer to put it, because we want to understand, and this is very important in your journey when you start to modernizing your systems, and now you are moving from a paper based form to a digital form. It's important to collect as much data as possible, because let's say in the old days when you have only paper form, your issue is you don't know maybe why someone put for you 1 star if you are still using the old style paper. You need to understand what the customer is really complaining, or maybe he's complimenting you about. So, and I will explain after a while why I did this. So the first step for me was to prepare this form. Now, before, I think there's something missing, Ufuk, here.
Yes, let's do like this. Let me share the
Yeah,
screen.
fine. Like, excuse us, because I think I need to remove this, and then you can share the. Yeah, because I want you to see basically, what we exactly did. Okay, is this the one? No.
Just a second. Just a second.
This one?
Yes.
Can you move? Okay,
So
so
let me
you,
just go through it.
control
Yeah,
is yours, no
it's
problem.
better.
Yeah, excuse us for us. We
Yeah.
are live, but that's fine.
So yeah,
But
we passed through this and the forms. Yeah, here we have I got my slide. Yeah, these are the options which was not visible in
yeah,
StreamYard's. Yeah, here, and let's go to yours.
yeah. So
Yeah,
we
this one,
fine. Yes,
and
we collected the feedback. Sorry, Ufuk, can you stay here?
yeah,
So here you can see the customer decided to choose just they want to give feedback about quality of the food or kitchen and service staff. So we can go to the next one, and here you can see they gave really not that good rating, and they write something there. Let's go next. Yeah.
yeah,
uh, so let me explain before I will tell you what is this now. What I've done, because I need to collect the data somewhere. So Ufuk, he's using 365, Microsoft 365. So of course you can integrate the form with Excel, of course. So for me, I needed to utilize something else. So I utilized a database which is very famous in the world of no code, because I relied on no code here. It's called Airtable. So Airtable is a very famous database, which is very similar to a spreadsheet, but is more powerful than a normal spreadsheet. So the idea is when I put or I filled the form, it goes and it filled similar to what Ufuk showed us. It fill for you the fields in whatever, and even you can have, the fields of the stars as star fields, like call it rating. The category is called rating. And once, the customer sent and put this form over there, now what I have done, I wanted to do kind of a tweak here. So basically, first thing first, I have two automations. So one automation is within the Airtable platform itself. And if the feedback is from a customer about kitchen, I can make it send an email just to, let's say, the F&B manager, the guy who's responsible for food and beverage. If it was something related to the cleanliness of the hotel, of the restaurant, it will go to whoever is responsible, maybe the facilities guy. If it's something related to the staff, it will go to the head of staff or maybe the restaurant manager, right? So this is my first step. The second step also, I wanted to, and by the way, all this automated. I don't need to go and select, similar to what Ufuk showed us about the conditions. Now, the next step for me, and this is the AI spice, right? So let's say the customer filled the form, but maybe he put 3 or 4, and you're not sure is he happy or not. So, like when you have a 3 and 4 stars, usually, and we know this from ourselves when we go and search for a hotel to stay on booking.com, or when, for example, we go to buy something on Amazon and we see this 3-star, like, okay, 3 stars. Is it good? Is it bad? So how we can understand? The best way to understand is to have what we call sentiment analysis. And thanks to AI and thanks now to ChatGPT API, the OpenAI API, we can do this. So what I have done is the moment the customer enter his or her feedback, so there is something called webhook. So webhook, just, I will not go too much technical details, but it's something like it's waiting for an input, right? And these inputs come from the database. So once a new record hit the database will go and tell this webhook, which is just, think about it like a gatekeeper, hey, like I have a new record. And then we say, okay, I want to read this record. And the beauty, you don't need to read the whole thing. So what I took is I just took the customer name and the comment that they wrote, because this is what I'm worried about. I know what stars they give us, but I want to see what they have put in the comments. Now, once I get this information, I passed it, and I'll tell you in a while the tool. I passed it to OpenAI, and in OpenAI, people think that ChatGPT can only do chatting, which is not true. ChatGPT, as you know, if you go to their website, I mean the API website documentation, you see 25 plus use cases. And one of the use cases is actually sentiment analysis. And the way you do sentiment analysis, you just simply tell the prompt, hey, I have this message, classify it. Is it, for example, complaint? Is it suggestion? Or is it a compliment? Based on the text. And of course, like, this is the best thing, and anyone who's maybe hopefully watching or listening to us later, machine learning, artificial intelligence, actually the first use cases were about this, and it's very good now about that. So what I did is I passed this message to OpenAI, and then OpenAI will read this feedback that you saw in the previous slide, and then it will analyze it. Now, here is the thing. If it's not a complaint, so if it was just a compliment, thank you very much, or whatever, it's not critical, right? Someone will read this at the end of the day. But if it was a complaint, someone said, for example, oh, your food is disgusting, your staff are so rude, something like this, you need someone to be notified. Because again, remember why we have done all this automation, why we are doing all this digital transformation, because we have an issue with our sales, we have issue with customer satisfaction. So as you can see, if it's not a complaint, nothing will happen. So there is no action. Again, someone can come at the end of the day and see the report. But if it's something urgent, which is complaint, here what OpenAI will do. And actually, I make it send an email from my the company email, but you can customize this, of course. So it's say, hey, the complaint from customer Mehmet is about food quality kitchen has been recorded, and here what he's saying, the food was disgusting. And imagine, of course, you see my email and Fuchs' email, but this should go, for example, to the F&B manager. And see again here, the complaint from customers about food quality and kitchen and seating was not comfortable, for example. Again, it should go to someone. And the beauty here, you can customize it. And Ufuk, if you can go to the previous slide. Now, uh, the way to do this, uh, you went too much.
Yeah, right.
Yes, yeah, this one. So the way to do this, there are a lot of automations tools out there, and one of them is Zapier, it's the most famous one. But if someone have used this tool, they would recognize it. It's called make.com. It used to be called Integromat. There are plenty of tools, but I prefer this one because it's really easy, very straightforward to do it. Of course, it has some additional capabilities, so you need to know how to do the webhooks. You need to know how to talk to ChatGPT, and you know how to configure the SMTP. I'm not saying it's straightforward, but I mean for us, Ufuk and myself as consultants, it's something like piece of cake for us. Now, this is everything is automated. Like there is no one single thing that have to be done manually. Now, uh, maybe you are saying, yeah, but this applies only to restaurants. Does it apply to me? Yes, it applies to you. If you are a retailer, if you are a gym, if you are a maybe even barber shop, you can find that using these tools, you can do one of the four things: increase your revenues, increase customer satisfaction. Believe it or not, it's important. Increase the satisfaction of your own staff. Why you let them do repetitive job that they hate? And you can avoid risks of losing customers and even losing money. We can move forward.
Yeah.
Or you want to say
Yeah.
something?
Yes. I wanted to add a couple of things while here. So yeah, it was very useful to discover these open AI capabilities. So even while working on this, we discussed with you, it gave us, again, it opened a new possibilities, right? And as I mentioned previously, as we choose such like basic topic, right? It's, as a restaurant, a customer feedback, but again, it can be applied to any type of business, any type of workflow. So, for example, here in Dubai, in most of the buildings, we have security guards sitting, right? And when you are a visitor, you have to fill that visitor form in like most of the places. So in that form, simply you are just typing your name, your contact number, due to safety regulations probably. So recently in the building that I'm living, I started to see security guys holding an iPad. So simply they eliminated this work, the visitor logbook, and a, they started collecting the same information in the digital way, which is easier for them. They can simply maybe scan the ID card and then edit to the system. Maybe it will be more automated. In the end, it's digitized. It's a digital information which they can leverage. So simply this automation can be applied to any type of business, and it's not only feedback related stuff, right? It can be applied to any type of business process. So this is what I wanted to add. And conclusion, right? In conclusion, in our case study, we wanted to increase sales and get more customer, right? So simply by leveraging this data, by using and by analyzing the data in a right way, it it helped us to understand the bottleneck of this restaurant. Maybe it's breakfast, maybe overall, maybe kitchen, maybe cleaning, maybe service stuff. So we understand the bottleneck, and then we focused on that part as managers, right? We focused on that part. We wanted to change. We wanted to have something new, new rules, new implementation, new people, and then it's helping us to increase the business metrics. So this is the message that we wanted to give today. Again, it's not only using the buzzword digital transformation, but this is actually how it's done in the real world. This is I can.
Yeah, actually, one thing, what I have done, I don't have to show you guys, or maybe if we have time, I can show you. So, what I have done with this database, because look, when you collect data, you have to do something with this data. Of course, we will not go to the deep things about data analysis and all things, but there are some, Ufuk use Power BI, right? You use Power BI, Ufuk.
That's right.
Yeah. So it's again a tool from Microsoft. So for me, because again, think about me, the guy who is trying to do the things in a different way. So the database tool that I'm using, which is Airtable, they have a gorgeous, dashboard interface that you can build. Of course, you need to build it. So what I have done is that now I have something, I call it the manager dashboard. And the manager dashboard, so for me, there are some KPIs. So the KPIs in each category. So in the food kitchen category, I have three. In the service staff, I have three. In pricing and payment sentiment, I have three. And I have the last one regarding the overall hygiene and the status of the restaurant. So I have something that is a live dashboard. For example, for each one of these KPIs, so food taste, I can see the average. For example, I can see that in the past, I don't know, 30 days, my average went down from 4.5 over 5 to 3.5. So immediately I can start to take action. The way we want to, tell you about this today is um, we are trying to convey the message that we don't do digital transformation because it's a buzzword. Remember, maybe I'm repeating myself. We do digital transformation because we want to solve a problem, or you want to disrupt your market because you want to be better than your competition. And to be better than your competition, simply, it's really simple, guys. And what Ofuk and myself, we invite you as an action plan. If you are struggling today with sales, you are struggling with increasing your revenues, you're facing some churn, which is like decrease in the number of people who use your services, so reach out to us. We can sit with you and do this analysis with you, right? So we try to understand about your business processes, and we try to understand where, from a digital perspective and automation perspective, we can add value. Also, if you are interested to have more insights about how to build these ones by yourselves, also we have a workshop. Feel free to reach out to us. We can all the time show you the way. But what we prefer to do first is to sit with you and help you in taking your business to the next level. And because we are here in Dubai, and maybe people will be watching from all over the place, but like we know, for example, in Dubai now, like everyone struggle with real estate, let's say, from following their customers. I'm just saying. So you see here that we sent email. By the way, you know what you can do with automation? We can help you to build something that talks to WhatsApp for business. We can help you to build something which talks to Telegram, maybe. So if you want someone, once they fill a form inquiring about a new project that has just been announced, so once they enter the message, it will go to the database, and then it will send the whoever entered that form, hey, we will come back to you soon, on a WhatsApp, and then you will be informed. And based on some criteria maybe that you specify, because you can ask questions there, and based on these questions, you can decide, is it like someone who you should call directly, or maybe you should, you can let him or her wait for quite some time. I just give another example. Maybe like another restaurant use case. We see a lot of times you struggle in getting people seats, and then we see you writing the people name. We can convert that to digital, right? And once there is a seat that will be available soon, instead of calling the customer, you hit one button on an app, and then it will go and send a WhatsApp message to the customer, say, hey, sir, ma'am, your seat will be ready in 5 minutes if you want to come, right? Plenty of, if you are a repair shop, right, and you are struggling to find out which car came first and what you have to do, so you need to collect the data, you start to do analysis, right? So this whole idea, first step number one, identify your areas of enhancements. This is what Ufuk and myself, we can help you with. And then we start to see how we can take it to the next level. And as you can see, we can build beautiful applications, we can build beautiful dashboards, we can build beautiful automations all together. So this is all from me. Ufuk, I will keep the closing for you.
Yeah. Thank you very much for everyone. Thank you very much for joining us. So yeah, I just wanted to say just one last thing. Uh, I and Mehmet, we don't know anything about restaurant business. It was just an example scenario. Same like, service business, or uh, so any type of business. So simply, if we focus, if we talk to someone skilled and experienced in restaurant management business, maybe, yeah, it will give us some another ideas, right? So it's simply what we created today is based on our common sense, just based on
Yeah.
our understanding of the business from as an outsider. So that's why when you think about your business, no one can know your business better than you. That's why we really need inputs. We really need to understand what you know and what you want to achieve in your
And
business, and then we can just bring it to the next level. So that's all from me. Here, our contact details on the screen. And Mehmet, thank you very much.
well, thank you. We let's wait for 1 minute to see if anyone has any questions, and then we can say bye to everyone. Um, I don't see any questions. We have quite good session, I would say. Yeah, and again, as Ufuk mentioned before, I say bye to everyone. We just came up with this, but there are plenty of examples, and there's no one industry that we know better. I mean, it's like this can be applied to across all industries, but of course, as Ufuk said, we need to sit and hear from you and listen from you. What are your pain points, so we can help as well, so uh, that's all what I want to say. And with this, I think we closed a little bit earlier than we were suggested to. Okay, great. Well, thank you everyone for joining. And if you will be watching this later, we also appreciate the time for watching this. We hope it was like a very, I would say, simple, smooth explanation about the concept without the big buzzwords and the big, I would say, big names putting on that. So we just try to make it as simple as possible. And I hope to see you again soon, another masterclass in the near future. Thank you very much and see you soon. Bye bye.
Thank you, everyone.